Hi, I'm Christina Stanley, CEO of Fictionary. One of the most important steps to knowing if your draft manuscript has a strong structure is to evaluate the story against the Fictionary story arc. This video shows you how to do that. Does my story have a solid structure? In Fictionary, the story arc is the structure the story is built on. At this step in the revision process, you've already imported your manuscript and named the scenes, as you can see here on the left. I'm taking you through one of my novels as I edit. We're revising Look the Other Way. Naming the scenes has set you up nicely to evaluate the structure of your story. If you haven't named the scenes, don't worry, you can do this step at the same time. Before you start tagging the plot point scenes on the story arc, let's have a look at the story arc as Fictionary set it. To do this, click Visualize. And this is the story arc we're starting with for Look the Other Way, so it's not bad. Fictionary has analyzed the story and tagged 5 scenes. First, you want to confirm the scenes are tagged correctly. Fictionary does this using natural language processing, so you may have to re-tag some of the scenes if you don't agree with the story arc. To check each scene, click on the scene, and you can read the scene here. If you agree with the story arc, great, move on to the next plot point. If not, make a note of the scene number, this is scene 2, and go back to the Evaluate page. On the Evaluate page, I'll select scene 2. This is not my story arc scene, so I'll click Plot. And on the Plot tab, I'm going to set the story arc to No. I'm not going to set a purpose yet because I'm not really sure. Then I'll click scene 4 as this is my inciting incident scene. Here I'll set the story arc to Yes. I'll use the drop-down menu, select inciting incident, save, and then I'll go back to the Visualize page. Here you can see my story arc has been set to scene 4, and it's a little better. It's still before 15%, so we're okay. If you don't know what the plot point scenes are, leave the story arc as is. Once you figure it out, you can update the story arc at any time. You can use the story arc to find the area in your manuscript where the plot point should be. Note that if you haven't written one of the plot point scenes, and that's still on your to-do list, leave the scene set to Yes so the story arc will draw. This way you know where the scene should be. I'll show you what happens if a plot point is not set. So we're going to go back to the Visualize page. We'll go to the plot setting, and I'm going to set this to No. So now there's no inciting incident in my story. We'll go back to the Visualize page, and this is what happens. Oops, we don't have a story arc. If you're not sure which key plot point is missing, you can check the Plot Insights, and you can see in the middle panel, scroll to the bottom, and you can see we have a climax, a plot point 2, a middle, a plot point 1, but no inciting incident. So that tells me I need to set the inciting incident scene. On the Evaluate page, I go back to the Plot tab, I set the story arc to Yes, and I select the inciting incident. And now the story arc will draw again. And we have the story arc back. The second way to have a story arc draw if you're missing a scene is on the Evaluate page. So let's just say this is not the inciting incident, so we'll turn this off for now. But I do need to write the inciting incident. I can add a new scene. I'll name it Inciting Incident. I'll set the story arc to Yes. I'll select Inciting Incident. I won't write anything yet. I just know I need to write this scene. The inciting incident is now scene 5, and it's on my to-do list to write.